Today's lesson is about a project for descriptive statistics. We collected the data in class. I choose one of the data. We got the data like this. I already listed them from smallest to the greatest. Before we working on mean, median, mode, range, I make a frequency chart first. This is the frequency for each height. For the mean, we use this formula. Each height multiplied by its frequency, add them together, then divided by the number of data. For this n definitely equals the summation of the frequency. So we use this formula to figure out the mean. We will get h bar equals $59 times 1 plus 61 times 2 plus 62 times 1, 63 times 3, 65 times 2, 67 times 4, 68 times 1, 69 times 3, 71 times 1, over the summation of frequency. I add all this together. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1. You will get top number is 1176 over 18 equals 65.3. For the mode, that means happen most. That's 4. 67. Range will be your maximum 71 minus 59. So you get 12. For the median, work out this cumulative frequency. 1. Adding 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 3, that's 7. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 4, 13. 13 plus 1, 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. 17 plus 1 is 18. Median, altogether we have 18 data. 18 divided by 2, you will get 9. That means you have two number, 9 and 10 will be the middle number. 9 and 10th data. How you get that? Go here. This is a 9th data. 10th data will be 67. Therefore, we do 65 plus 67 divided by 2. You will get 66. So median is 66. If this kind of data is given for the IB exam, you just plug into stat and figure out by graphing calculator. In this project, the students are required to show the work so that they know the concept behind the graphing calculator. For 4, now take this information and make a line plot. That means a histogram. We have 59. So we can get started from 59. Go to 71. And for the frequency, height is 4. Yeah, this is a 4. On the x-axis, this is the height. Here is the frequency, means people. Make sure you have the same scale. From 59, I go to 71. 59 is 1. Then you keep going, draw this histogram. Then you can like shade it like this. Since this is a discrete data, it's not always connected to each other. That's it. Make sure you have the same scale, and like 61, 62, 63, it's connected. Now let's go to number 5, make a box and a whisker plot. We already know the median, that is 66. Lower extreme, that's 59. Upper extreme, that's 71. Range, 71 minus 59, that's 12. How you figure out the lower quartile and upper quartile? You can just plug into the calculator and you can get all the answer directly. But without calculator and how you work that out, altogether it's 18 data. So 18 you divide by 2, you will get the 9. Means the 9th data and 10th data. That's the middle number. So we get 9 and 10th. That's 65 and 67. Add together divided by 2. We got this median. That is 66. What's meaning for lower quartile and upper quartile? You think about this is a minimum point. Then we have maximum point. The middle number we call is a median. Then from minimum to the median, we have a middle number. We call this middle number lower quartile or first quartile. Between median to this maximum value, we still have a middle number. We call this middle number as a third quartile or upper quartile. So after we figure out the median, then we need to find out the middle number between minimum to median. That's the lower quartile. Then we need to figure out the middle number between median to maximum. That's the third quartile or upper quartile. Therefore, altogether we have 18th data. We have from 1 keep going and to the 18th data. What's the middle number? That's median. It will be 9th and 10th. So that we have 9 data here, 9 data here. So what's the middle number between the first data to the 9th data? That will be the 5th data. Let's check the distance. 5 minus 1, that's 4. 9 minus 5, that's 4. So we have 14 minus 10 is 4. 18 minus 14 is 4. In other words, the 5th data, it will be the lower quartile or first quartile. And the 14th data, it will be the upper quartile or third quartile. where is the fifth data? It's here. This is the fourth. So from a fifth to the seventh, that's 63. Check 14th data. It's here. 68. What's the interquartile range? That means the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Therefore, 68 minus 63, that's 5. According to the given information, how you work out this box and whisker plot. We get started from 59. So we do 59. Make sure it has the equal scale. Then you get started from minimum value, that's 59. I will draw a dot here. Then your first quartile, that's 63. The median, that's 66. Third quartile, that's 68. Maximum value, that's 71. So I will draw a box for this first quartile and then the third quartile. Then draw a line here. That's the median. So connect this. We call this is a whisker plot. For the whisker plot, from minimum, this is minimum, first quartile, median, third quartile, and then this is a maximum. Between minimum to the first quartile, that's 25% of data located here. From first quartile to the median, that's 25% data. This is a 25% data. 25% data. So for the IB exam, sometimes they ask you about this information. Now let's go to number 6. Find out the standard deviation for data from part 1. First, fill out the table. Use the standard deviation formula to find it. This is the formula for standard deviation. While you're working on the standard deviation, we need a height and then frequency. So let's fill this out. So we will set up the table like this. And we already figure out the mean of the height, that is 65.3. We use each height to subtract this square. We got the third column. Then you multiply by frequency. Add this together, then divide by 18. Altogether, it's 18 students. So I already fill in this table. For HI minus H bar, that means I'm doing 59 minus 65.3 square. Then I get this number. Keep doing 61 minus 65.3 square. You get 18.49. Then you multiply by frequency. Frequency, this is a frequency. So 1 times 39.69, I get 39.69. 2 times 18.49, I got 36.98. I keep doing the same thing. I got this fourth column. Then I add this together. You will get 196.02. So I put into this formula, I got 196.02 over 18. Then you do square root, you will get 3.3. This is the standard deviation. Now let's go to part 2. Part 2 is dealing with the continuous data. We got the data like 59 to 62, from 62 to 65, 65 go to 68, 68 go to 71, 71 go to 74. From this table, we transfer to this continuous data. For the height, it will be greater than or equal to 59 but less than 62. 62 won't count in, only count to 59, 60, 61. So we have 3. Then from 62 to 65. 65 won't count, so it's 1 plus 3, that's 4. From 65 to 68. This one count, so that's 6. From 68 to 71. That's 4. Then from 71 to 74. This is 1. For the cumulative frequency, this is 3, 3 plus 4, 7, 7 plus 6, 13, 13 plus 4, 17, 17 plus 1 is 18. How to figure out mean for this continuous data? We need a midpoint. 59 plus 62 divided by 2, that's the midpoint. It will be 60.5. 62 plus 65 divided by 2, you will get 63.5. We do same thing, you will get 66.5, 69.5, 72.5. You can put this midpoint and frequency into a calculator. You will get mean. If we want to show the work still, for the mean, you can do like this. 60.5 times 3 plus 63.5 times 4 plus 66.5 times 6 plus 69.5 times 4 plus 72.5 times 1. Then divided by data, that's 18. After you put into a calculator, you will get 65.8 for mean. For the mode, means happen most, that is 6. So this interval will be the mode between 65 to 68. For the median, I have 18 divided by 2, that is a 9th and a 10th. That will be the middle number. It will be here. This 13 means you have 8th data and also 13th data. That's H will be between 65 to 68. That's the median. So for continuous data, mode and median will be the interval. For number 10, take this information that make a histogram. Remember, for continuous data, all bars are connected. Then you can draw this histogram like this. Remember, no space between each bar because it's all connected. For number 11, sketch a cumulative frequency graph. For the cumulative frequency graph, it must be continuous data. So we got to use the height, this all interval, and also the cumulative frequency to make a graph. Let's check the data so that we can find out the proper scale. From 59 to 74. 59, I can cross the first one. We can locate, this is a 59. Each of them just count as 1. So 59 and a 60. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. You don't have to label all of these like 61, 62, 63, but I already label for each 5 is 65, 70, and 75. Then for the y-axis, I need a cumulative frequency. That is this one. Cumulative. You have 18. You can count from 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Always get start from 0. So I have 59. That is a 0 here. 62. That is a 3. It's here, this point. Then go to 65. That is a 7. Here. Then we have 68. 68 is a 13. It's here. Then we have 71. 71 is a 17. Here. Then we go to 74. 74 is a 18 here. Then you need to connect this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 points. You connect this. Connect smoothly. Now let's go to 12. From the cumulative frequency graph you created above, find the followings. Use the different color to label them in the graph. For median, since altogether we have 18 data, 18 divided by 2, that's 9. You will find the 9 here. Then draw the horizontal line. Intersect this graph, then going down. You could see 66. So we write down 66 for median. Lower quartile, you will get the midpoint between this from 0 to 9. That is 4.5. So we will get the 4.5 here. Then we draw the horizontal line going down. That is a 63. So we write down 63. For upper quartile, we need a midpoint between 9 to 18. So 9 plus 18 divided by 2, you will get 13.5. it will be here. Then you draw the horizontal line. Intersect that, going down. It will be 68.3. So we write down 68.3. Lower extreme, that's 59. Upper extreme, that's 74. Interquartile means the third quartile minus the first quartile. That means 68.3 minus 63. You will get 5.3. Third quartile value, that means upper quartile, 68.3. First quartile, that means lower quartile, that's 63. Range will be 74 minus 59. You will get 15. Now let's go to 13. From the graph, find out the percentage of the group members whose height is greater than 70 inches. You will get the 70 here. This is the one is 70. Greater than 70, that means we need the number between 18 and 16, which means we have 2. Altogether is 18 people, so 2 over 18 equals. That is 11.1%. Pay attention to this greater than. You always do this subtraction to get this number. For less than, you don't have to. For B, we need a percentage of group members whose height is less than 65. So find the 65 here. That will be 7. So we have 7 people. 7 over 18 equals 38.9%. For number 14, figure out the standard deviation for this continuous data. For the continuous data, basically you got to use this one. That's the midpoint. And also the frequency. Still, you need to do this height minus mean square, then your frequency times this square. We got to use the same formula. From question 9, we already figured out the mean for height, that is 65.8. After I fill in this table, I add all this together. You will get 208.02. So I plug into this formula. Standard deviation will be 3.40.